Nothing like putting Sprite in a coffee cup to look more professional, am I right?
MONATions is transformative.
Do you hear that? That's right. It's the inevitable and hilarious and continued downfall of the shampoo empire that is Monat. Hello, friends. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Chelsea. You know that. I know that. I'm just a lady with a bulldog, a camera, and too many opinions. And as y'all know, I have a lot of opinions about the multi-level marketing company Monat. I will forever be talking about them and how they are and how much I dislike them and how, in my opinion, per the things they post themselves, they are dwindling, failing, dare I say, cringe, manipulative, a commercial cult, all of that. Of course, that's all just my own opinion. I'm not an expert, girly pop. I'm just a dumb for the camera. You can make your own opinions, okay? However, you know, it just happened in Vegas, the Monat annual convention, MONATions. And I was there like a week before. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of sad I couldn't be there at the same time because people were saying that for some reason, Monat was open to the public this year. Like anyone could buy a ticket, which is weird. Why would you buy a ticket? Like if you're not in it, why would you go? That doesn't make any sense. Now, I think it's important to show the difference in venue specifically because a lot of things have changed. They can say all day long that they are having the best year ever, the best summer ever. And it's just like, no, that's not accurate. As we can see by this chart and this graphic that I've made, it's not true. They can say all day long that they are a $1 billion beauty company, hair care brand. They have yet to ever report $1 billion in sales revenue generated in one consecutive year. So that's interesting. And their sales revenue over the last 5 years has gone from upwards of $800 million. I believe that was either 2021 or 2020. I think it was 2021. And then last year, they didn't even make it onto the list that they are usually on for like the top earning beauty brands, which is those brands that are on that list typically like self-report that income or that sales revenue so they can get on that list. I mean, that's a pretty great accolade to have. And Monat didn't even make it on that list. And I believe the lowest number was 380 million, I think, for 2024. And Monat wasn't even on the list. So I would assume that they made less than that. And that's why they weren't on the list, right? So I just think that's very interesting. I mean, their revenue has significantly decreased, yet they say constantly that it's the best time to join, and this is a ground floor opportunity, and we're having the best year of our lives. And it's like, no, you are not. You're not. You're literally just not. So I do want to give a quick shout out, as always, to the people who keep track of these things, not just me, but like the other accounts that do this too. So there's MLM Unmasked on Instagram. They are great. There is the r/anti-MLM subreddit page. They are awesome as well. And then just a ton of other people who have been putting this information out there for the world to see. It's great. One thing that I did notice a lot this year was uplines in this company sharing a lot and really pushing a lot that they wanted their downline to attend. And they always say and claim that going to MONATions, no matter where you are in your business, or rather where you are in the downline or in the ranks of the company, it will be life-changing for your business, for your sales, all that. And it's like, why? That doesn't make any sense. You can't sell to people who are already there. They're already in the company. Why they say that is because it will get you reinvigorated. It will get you pumped up. It will re-brainwash you. That's the only reason these things exist, is to re-brainwash people and really foster that sense of community and get people to try to stay in. I mean, there's not any groundbreaking or revolutionary sales tactics or tips and tricks that are being shared at these things. There's just not at all. If there were, do you think that their annual sales revenue would be down like 80% over the last 5 years? I don't think so. I do want to make it clear as well that a lot of these uplines will push and push and push people who have no business and cannot afford the plane ticket, the hotel stay, the meals, the ticket to MONATions in general. Like, they absolutely cannot afford to do that. And they will still do it to not only impress their upline, get in their good graces, try to, you know, make the cult happy, or because they're just so desperate and they really believe that it's going to make a difference in their business. But the thing that a lot of people don't realize is that these uplines and these like top ranking people are pushed so hard by the corporate side and like the leadership of the company, and rewarded many times by how many people from their downline, like whoever has the most people on their team, like in their direct downline, show up from or for MONATions, like you get recognition for that. And it might not just be recognition, like verbal, it might be like monetary too. Like you might get a bonus. I'm pretty sure they do. So that's awful. I hate that so much. So much. Like you shouldn't need to do that. And it's not a fully paid for a trip. It's not a business trip, because not how that works at all. It's so frustrating. Now, this first girl, her name is Erica King. She's truly insufferable. She is from Australia. It's insane. So she's talking about the same stuff that one of the top earners, Jacqueline, what's her name? Her new last name's Goldrich. Jacqueline Ortega, was that her original last name? Whatever. What she used to say all the time in like one of her first Monat videos was, which she blocked me right after I made that video. That was like 4 years ago. But she first said, stop trading time for money. Like, what do you mean? What do you actually mean? Like, no, I want to be paid for the work that I'm putting in. I want to be paid for the time that I'm putting in, that I'm dedicating to this bullshit. And them saying that is literally just a way for them to justify you working for free and spending so much time not getting paid and not making money. But something that they've been saying a lot recently is praises over raises. And that is so insane. Someone telling you good job. Listen, girl, I love words of affirmation. That's great. I love words of affirmation over gifts too. You know what doesn't pay my bills? You know what doesn't pay for my kids' preschool? You know what doesn't pay my mortgage? An attaboy. You saying that you appreciate me. Money pays for those things. So it's wild. Listen, don't get me wrong. I do think that get into sales, absolutely. And especially in your 20s, before you're married, before you have kids. Girl, I used to work 12-hour shifts and I was making so much money. And then COVID hit and ruined my life. Just kidding. It was one of the best things that happened to me professionally, because I was like, hey, I'm not making any money right now. Let me do YouTube full time. But yes, getting into sales is awesome. Getting into an MLM, not awesome. A lot of times with like an inside sales job, you will still be being paid for your time. Like you might have a draw. So if you don't hit your like commission requirement or whatever, let's say it's $5,000 in sales for the month or something, then you'll get a draw, which is like $500 a week. I don't know. I haven't done it in so long, but that's like how many places I was at used to work. Now that was a super smooth transition. I have not seen you in so long. It's Uncle Reggie. I don't know if you could tell because my mullet's growing out. There's something else you probably don't know either, and that is that the internet is trying to get inside your brain and tell you what to think, and that's not okay. But more than half of Americans are getting their information, their news, from the social medias. According to that Reuters Institute, people no longer trust institutions, they trust personalities. Well, I'm a personality, and I trust ground news. But listen, I get it. The institutions have failed us in so many ways. But instead of just wanting them to do better, what do? Turn to that Joe Rogan fella? Just look at these headlines. His 2024 interview with Donald Trump was literally credited for winning him that their election. People have no idea they're being influenced when they think they're being informed. Now that's why Ground News is my go-to platform for the news, to be able to compare these stories, the headlines, the truth, the biases, the fact checks, and why I love that Chelsea put them on their channel. She got me set up with that Vantage plan. And let me tell you one more thing. I just, nothing? Get back under the desk. Okay, I'm sorry. Think about what I said. Think about it. I'm so sorry, guys. He told you about Ground News? Okay, I guess I'll at least just keep telling you about it. I don't know. So Ground News has obviously helped me with that guy, clearly, but I definitely do love knowing where information that I'm reading is coming from. I always say consider the source, and obviously I do mean that, not literally sometimes. I do be hyperbolic. But obviously, I mean that literally too. If you don't know where your information is coming from and just believe it willy-nilly and not understand biases and things like that and who's profiting and benefiting from you believing certain information, you're just going to end up looking silly. And I don't want that for you. I want you to be educated and know all sides of everything, okay? Even if you don't agree with it. Ground News was founded by a female former NASA engineer who saw a much bigger problem here on Earth instead of focusing on, you know, whatever is going on in space or aliens or something like that. And so the only app out there helping you think for yourself and see all sides, gathering articles from thousands of sources around the world, organizing them by story, and then analyzing the political lean, credibility, and even those financial incentives, like I just mentioned, behind each perspective. Y'all know I love when you think critically and logically and all that. You can be silly and goofy too, but when it comes to taking in information, That's obviously more important, okay? Follow your favorite topics, even check out their blind spot feed so you can see, hey, maybe I'm missing a key factor of this topic, of this story. So make sure you go to ground.news/cc or click the link in my description box to sign up for the plan that I use every day and the one that I got Uncle Reggie started with too. And you'll save 40% on their Vantage plan. Like I said, that's the one I use, and that is ground.news/cc. And that knocks down the cost to just $5 a month. Thank you, Ground News, for being a continued sponsor of my channel. Thank you to you guys for continuing to support my sponsors. And now back to the video. And then if you do make like over a certain amount, your draw comes out of that or whatever, like you pay it back or something like that, right? And people who aren't in sales like do not understand what the hell I'm talking about. Either way, you're guaranteed a paycheck because you are there working. And then obviously, like I said, sometimes there's like a draw where like you pay it back and hopefully like you're making so much that like that doesn't matter. But if there's like slow months, slow weeks, slow days, whatever, you're still guaranteed a paycheck because you are there. They can't just not pay you. Like, that's crazy. And also, hey, health insurance benefits, cries an American. Stuff like that, right? Dental, 401k, work-life balance, maybe. Ever heard of her? I would much rather have that. But yeah, sure, get into sales. I loved it. It was awesome. And if I ever stop doing this, which probably never going to happen, I'm going to go back to that. Not a multi-level marketing company, though. Not the same thing. If you treat it like an actual sales job, sure, but like, that's not the same thing at all. That's seriously so wild to me because it's like, who says that? Where is that actually common? No, I hit my sales goal. Give me a bonus instead of like a cupcake or a pizza party or a nice email. Like, no, give me money. Like it's so ass backwards. It is wild. But again, in this type of commercial cult and in this type of environment, they really foster that mentality. You're just in this for the money. Yeah, it's a job, Nancy.
I do this for my daughter to show her that anything's possible. I've had to relearn skills. I didn't have any experience in social media and network marketing. Never did any of this stuff before, guys. So I am all in. I cannot wait to just absolutely absorb all of the leadership, all of the training, all of the mentorship that comes with this opportunity, and just being surrounded by women that dream bigger, guys. This is what it's about. You know, we stay stuck in small little spaces and places because we just get comfortable, or we think that we can't do it, or, you know, I could never jump online and I could never do what you do. Well, guys, there is so much more to life and so much more to, you know, this opportunity than you realize. And this is exactly what I'm going to show you over the next 7 days, guys. So wish me safe travels, and I will no doubt be keeping you.
A flight from Australia to Vegas is so expensive. A flight from Tampa to Vegas is expensive, all right? And I mean, thank God for Southwest points. But like, most of these people were posting that they got, listen, my face was super red and I noticed that I had a pimple right there. So hush. Most of these people are doing business class. Do you know how much business class costs? That's like an entire commission check for the people at the top of Australian money. That's insane. But it is really funny that she didn't thank her money job for her being able to afford a business class ticket. Instead, she thanked crypto. And it's like, I wonder why. Probably because you can't afford it off of your Monat checks, even though y'all act like you can. So expensive. And honestly, for that long ass flight over the Pacific Ocean, I kind of get it. But like, girl, do premium economy. Just do that instead. That's way better. I mean, not way better. You're saving so much more money, obviously. I did that to London and it was great. I mean, I threw up when I got to the airport, but it was great. It was awesome. Now, this was a video that was shared by Louis Urdaneta, who is the head of Monat, the owner of it, the daddy, Papa Monat, if you will. This is so insane. So he shared this, and it was when Monat was huge and they were in a big like arena, girl, like State Farm Arena. They ain't in arenas no more. They're in like conference rooms in a theater, which is hilarious. So they were posting that. A specific clip that they posted was when they auto generate, like randomly pick, kind of just like a raffle, I guess, a name on screen, and that Monat market partner, that salesperson, won a $20,000 check. Isn't that crazy? For just being there, for just being at MONATions. Well,
at MONATions, Katie Weaver, when they were, oh, you can win $20,000, you can win all these things. You guys, okay, so Katie won a $20,000 check. She won for being there at MONATions. She won $20,000. When she went to cash her check, the check bounced.
So you heard that right. They quickly stopped doing that. When she went to cash the check, it bounced. And that was even when they were doing like better, not as as they are now. Like, that's wild, man. That's crazy. And then this is just another example of the lies from previous MONATions. And this one is a reel from one of them that says, BRB just living out my Lizzie McGuire dreams, says that she was speaking at MONATions on the stage in front of 25,000 people. And it's like, the State Farm Arena doesn't hold that many people. And that's where it was that year. So that's cool. And apparently it wasn't even sold out. So it was more like 6,000. It wasn't that many. But of course, that's not cool. You gotta lie. Now, this is one of my favorite ones to compare from a few years ago. So in 2019, they're on stage and it says, in the last 6 months, which MONATions is like always in like August-ish time, August, September. So it would have been like for that year so far, $70 million in commissions paid compared to 5 million products shipped, 180,000 plus new VIP customers. And keep in mind, it's momentum is what they keep saying. Is last year at MONATions, it said 46 million in commissions to more than 57,000 market partners. That's crazy. Because at that time, to my knowledge, there were around like 100,000, a little bit more than that, market partners. So that means that there would only be around, like, there's less than 60,000 active market partners. Active meaning like you made a cent of commission. That means you're active. So also that was halfway through the year. That was for just that year. And that's $46 million. Y'all say you're $1 billion company. Let's just say, give them the benefit of the doubt that you double that because it's halfway through the year. Let's say you do the same numbers for the end of the year. Girl, that's not good. That's hardly 100 million. That's like a little bit over. That's insane. Oh my God, that's so embarrassing. And again, we would have to think like, okay, is that in the entire world? Is that in your US market? What is that? Because they like to like conflate the numbers by including everyone, but then sometimes not including everyone. And it's very confusing. So what their leader, their fearless leader said, delusional leader said this year was, we are having our best summer in Monat history. Sir, clearly you're not. Your numbers have, per your own data, it's dropped 50% basically. Like, that is so embarrassing. And now here is a little sneak peek for you that they're in like a theater instead of a huge arena this time. And I mean, it's a big ass theater, but I mean, it's still a theater. Apparently the capacity of that is like 4,500. And that's crazy. That's a lot less than they used to have. Again, because there's less market partners, but then also because less people are making money and people can't afford it. Like, it's expensive. So do you want to see the life-changing, business-changing training that these people are referring to when they say that going to MONATions is going to change your life? It is the smallest man in the world in a sweaty vest. I just know he smells like BO. I just know this man gets nosebleeds. I just know that this man has more than once put Adderall up his booty hole.
I have to prospect people on social media. No, you have the chance to prospect people. No, you have the chance to change somebody's life. You get the chance to give them a gift. I come in like Santa Claus. I come in my office like, ho, 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 ho. We're gonna gift everybody a whole better life in business today. Time to gift them a starter kit. Early Christmas gift. I'm about to change your life.
You know this man's insufferable. So this is Daniel G. He's a sales trainer, but it really seems like he only gets paid by MLMs because it's just so sad. All energy all the time, and you getting to do this job is a gift. You getting to do this is a gift. And it's like, is that it? You have the chance to change someone's life. Imagine, blah, blah, blah. Have a positive attitude. It's like, that's not a sales technique. That's you telling someone to suck it up and just be delusional and happy and toxic positivity. That's it. So annoying. Come on, this is so slow. Let's go. same place they had it this year. That's so dumb. Oh my God, that is so stupid. The official Monat page posted this 2 days ago. So after MONATions has already happened in Vegas at the Dolby Live stage at MGM Park, whatever, that is 6,400. So I'm literally looking at it right now. So it says MGM Resorts Theater holds approximately 5,200 seats, but capacities vary by event. So obviously, like, they can add more chairs, remove them, whatever. But it's just so interesting because it's like in that little reel that they did, which we'll be playing it right now as I'm talking next to me, but it literally says like, where to now? And then it zooms out on the earth and then goes back to it. And it's like, where to now? The same place. Like, what? Oh my God, it is so stupid and so cringe.
MONATions is transformative.
It's family.
God, she's pretty.
Powerful is unmatched.
Energy.
He said, MONATions is energy, as it's just completely silent and everyone behind him is just looking on their phone. Okay, go off, brother. Okay, so this is insane. If we zoom in to some of these people's like little ribbons that they have on their ID badge, a lot of multi-level marketing companies will do this, but also a lot of conventions, period, will do this. So for instance, I had only ever seen these when my dad, when we would go to the Florida Transportation, I think Builders Association, the FTBA conventions for like road builders and civil engineers, construction, all that, right? And so we would go to those and my dad would have that. And like, he was like the president of the FTBA one year and like, you know, served on the board. And so he would have one that said like president, board members, like something, or like, you know, certain accolades and stuff. And, you know, he had done a lot of stuff. There was career. It's just so funny that some of these, like, girl, what the fuck is this participation award? Is the first time I've ever like zoomed in and seen these. Like, y'all are getting desperate. It says perfect 10, which is a just obviously completely made up accolade. You want to put that on your resume, girl? That don't mean 100K club, which means that you are inducted into that, just like the $1 million club. Doesn't mean that you made $1 million in commission within 1 year. Doesn't mean you made 100,000 within 1 year. It means you did it since you joined. So you could be in for 12 years and then hit 100K. That's embarrassing. That's nothing to be excited about. What are you talking about? And then it says VIP seating. Why does it say VIP seating on there? And then it says my first MONATions. And then the top one is MONATions. Like, you get one for just going? You get one for it being your first one? Like, what is happening? It is so silly. So now I'm just going to want to zoom into all of them and just roast the shit out of them. Like, I think that is a perfect example of like the facade of it all. Someone can have a long ass collection of ribbons around their neck and their name badge, but they can be making minimum wage or below minimum wage. Also, who's recruiting the deaf community into this pyramid scheme? What the is going on here? Y'all are going straight to hell. Y'all better stay away from blind people. I bet that's the community they're going to come after next.
Life-changing. Amazing.
Innovation.
Oh my God, his name is Chad. Oh my God, his last name's Rickabo. That's hilarious. I hate that so much. It's funny that he doesn't have any little ribbons.
Rewarding.
Rewarding, even though it's praises over raises. Oh my gosh, that ribbon said glow getter, which y'all gotta cut it out. Some of those ribbons are literally just because they took a multiple choice quiz on their like back office, and that's what that means, that they like completed it. But then they call themselves like an expert, and it's like, girl, no, you're not.
Amazing. Blessing community.
Oh my God, now I have to look at all of the ribbons again. Okay, Amber Nicole. This one said, why are all of them from Florida? I hate it. This one says, also suspenders, babe. You look like when you got to go to MONATions at 8 p.m., but then you're headlining as the MC at Cabaret at 10. Like, what are you wearing? Money makes the world go round. Girl, go round. Have you ever seen Cabaret? It's amazing. So her top one says shampoo dealer. Like, we just put nicknames on there now? What are y'all doing? Can the next one say scam, cult, pyramid scheme, maybe? CCSUAREZ victim? Can I start making them some? And if they've been featured in a video, they can get one. Also, it's not family. It's not magic. It's not community. Those people won't talk to you anymore if you stop working there or if you quit. They keep saying that it was sold out last year. about a month after they announced, because they put pre-sale tickets and tickets available, whatever, like a month after, or not even like a weekend after the event has ended for the next year. The uplines kept saying in group chats like, oh, MONATions is almost sold out, to try to, you know, do FOMO and exclusivity and scarcity, all that. And they're like, oh yeah, it's almost sold out. Y'all better get your tickets. There were still tickets available up until like a week. And guess what, girl? That's not full. That ain't full. I see lots of empty seats. So I know all those people ain't on stage. Yikes. Tell me right now why one of these ribbons says damage control. Is that the one where you've been featured on my channel? I know I've put this girl in one before, so it must be. Girl, look at all of these empty seats in the background. I can't believe I didn't look at that before. Wellness Guide certified. Does that mean like you read a packet or like an insert that came with like the wellness products? Like what does that mean? I hate it so much.
Let's do a walkthrough of MONATions 2025. We kick things off right at the lobby, fully decked out with our Monat branding. Next stop, the event agenda. Quick check so you know where to be and when. From there, we hit registration. Smooth, easy, and fast. Don't forget your goodie bags. Now the highlight, the MONATions Hub. This is where all the activations are happening. Think interactive, fun, and the perfect place to connect. After that, we're off to the theater. We're on the first floor, passing through the casino, walking ahead until, boom, you see the theater title shining. Don't forget, every corner here is built for the Monat experience. Soak it in, capture it, and enjoy the ride.
Girl, nothing like being at the very end of the strip next to nothing, am I right? It was pretty uneventful, other than the double speak, the straw man fallacies, the cultiness, and like clear embarrassment of like them going back on things they've said before that like are provably false. It's the same just on like a more embarrassing and lesser scale, technically. So I find that very interesting, but just to make sure I'm not missing anything, let's go to Reddit to see what the fork is going on. And of course, just like every other MLM conference and every other MONATions, there's people who like are bringing fresh babies, because God forbid you take time off to not only bond with your child, but hey, to heal. You want to know how young that baby looks? It looks like you still have a hole in your uterus from where the placenta was. Looks like you still got an open wound, girl. Crazy. And this says, if your job doesn't let you bring your baby, come sell shampoo. Or girl, you like maternity leave. How about that? How about at least 3 months off? Or how about making a livable wage so that you don't have to take your kid with you to these things so that you can afford childcare? So insane. Also, don't have your wrinkly baby around, like wrinkly infant around that many people. That's wild. Who's bringing their infant to Vegas? My God, this person said, my job gives me maternity leave, so I don't have to drag my newborn on a non-paid trip to Vegas in the middle of summer. Also, yeah, I was just there. Oh, that baby is about to be shriveled up like a little raisin. Good Lord, that thing's about to be even more wrinkly than it already is because it's real little. My makeup was flaking off of my face. It was so dry and so hot. Obviously, you're basically never outside in Vegas, but the Monat girls do love to take desert pictures, so I'm sure the baby was probably right out there with a cactus, all right? That's so sad. A lot of people actually forwarded me this as well, that it seems like even more than usual, you could tell that a lot of people in Monat were sharing rooms, and hey, that's fine. But going like 4 deep to a room in Vegas? I mean, not just in Vegas, but anywhere, like, girl, unless you got conjoining rooms, okay, but like 4? You know, there's just 2 queen beds, right? So you're probably sharing a bed with someone, but yet it's so luxury and you're doing so well. Like, if we're comparing like your job to my job and like work trip to work trip, another company's gonna pay for your own room. You're not gonna share a room with 3 other people. So how luxury is it? And I understand like trying to save a little bit of money here and there. I get it, girl. But yikes. The facade has, I wouldn't even say it's slipping. I'd say it's disintegrated. So this is another example of how the uplines will push you to go to MONATions, especially when you can't afford it, which is crazy. And so this says, to my fellow MPs, market partners, for those who are new here, MONATions 2026 tickets go on sale in a couple hours. Here's my message to you. If you are in this business with any type of goal to make over $500 a month, you need to be there. 0 excuses. I mean, not affording it, not like being able to go is a good excuse. This is a job requirement. That's funny because when y'all market this to people and try to recruit people, you say there's no requirements, but all right. And no out-of-pocket costs, which there clearly are a lot of them. 1 conference per year to ignite your belief, energy, knowledge, and set yourself up for success. What knowledge? You got that short little sweaty man yelling at you about energy and being positive. You're crammed 4 to a room in hot ass Vegas, and it's the worst time to go to Vegas. I can absolutely agree with that. But of course, like I had already said, it's to ignite your belief and energy. And that's literally all they care about. And your belief and energy doesn't set you up for success. It sets them up for success, your upline, because it keeps you in and it keeps you doing that work. How do you expect others to trust you, buy from you, or join you if you aren't serious about this? So it's just the guilt tripping. It's so sad. Invest in yourself, bet on yourself, make arrangements to make it happen. Next year, I will have a 6-month-old baby and I'll still be here. Is it easy traveling with kids? Don't take your kids. Oh, that pisses me off. Like, am I taking my kid to Crime Con next week when I go? No. I understand if like you don't have someone who you can leave your kid with for a few days, but like then you don't get to go. Jesus. Maybe she meant traveling with kids. Like, is it easy for me to travel when I do have kids that exist? I need to stop getting mad. Jesus. No, this is my job. And it's allowed me to experience a life I never thought was possible. My first MONATions, I couldn't afford to be there either, but I also couldn't afford to not be there. Girl, no, by not being there, you save probably like $2,000. That's groceries for like 2 months. More than that, I think. I don't know. That's preschool tuition for 2 months. That's daycare. Like, what are you talking about? My Lord. Get your tickets. That's the first step to changing your circumstance. No, it's not, girl. Getting out of the cult is the first step. Good Lord. That's so sad. That is, wow, that's so sad. Okay, y'all, that is going to be it for this video. Monat is crumbling. I love it so much. And I hope you have a great day night weekend. Whenever you're watching this, stay feral. Don't let your friends fall for the cult. The signs are there. I mean, just the stats, the numbers, it's all there to show that they're not in momentum. They don't know what that word means. Absolutely not. They do not know what that word means. And they are not doing well. The company is probably going bankrupt. I've said it many times. I don't think they will be around by 2027. Hopefully they won't. Hopefully they crash and burn and cease to exist. Anyways, I will see you in my next video. Okay, goodbye.